Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we will be reviewing the day one between India and England for the second Test match. Finally, a day where you can say that India had some ascendancy. It's not necessary that they were dominant on the day, but at the same time, at least it wasn't like they were behind. I think it's a well fought day. Both teams in with a decent chance going into day two. Both teams will be relatively happy. Of course, India with that 300 score on a pitch that's already starting to turn and keep low, which is very interesting considering how the pitch played on day one of the first Test match. And with England also with a few wickets and kind of wrapping up the top order, which will give them a lot of hope going into day two. Your thoughts, mostly on day one?
I think it was an excellent day for India, to be honest. It was an absorbing day of cricket. Like England picked up wickets in the first session and third session, but that second session, I think India took control. Rohit Sharma and Rahane didn't lose a wicket. Unbelievable batting. It looked like Rohit in particular was batting on a different pitch. He used the sweep shot really well, even though that was his downfall in the end. But I think he negated that turn from the rough. There was rough already on day one. It was turning, and the way he batted, he looked like he was batting on a different pitch. And this pitch is going to get worse, I think. So I think 300 plus advantage India already. England will have to bat out of their skins. They have Joe Root there, so they will be confident. But right now, I think the advantage is with India. And credit to Rahane. I think a lot of criticism after the last game. People are even talking about him being dropped, being the vice captain, and after that Australia series, life like turns very quickly. But he stood up, and at 86 for three, I think he supported Rohit Sharma, and they got India into a really good position, to be very honest with you.
Yeah, he made 67, so it was a very good score as well for him. A nice little half century. I mean, shutting up his people who were doubting him. I mean, people have very small memories. I mean, that century is just about 4 games back. I mean,
Yeah,
you
and the
can't expect to
MCG.
keep scoring a century every time. So it's like, but I think speaking particularly of Rohit Sharma, completely looked like he was in control. I mean, yes, of course, there were a few half chances here and there, no doubt about that. But that's the kind of player he is. He will give you that half chance, but way he hits them, the pull shots, the straight
Oh,
cover shots, it's just beautiful to watch. And for the most of his innings, he was in a very good. I think for the first 70, 80 runs, he was going at over 100 strike rate. So, and then I think he calmed down a little bit towards the end. I think it was what 60, 70 strike rate in the end,
yeah.
which is not bad at all. Still, it's a pretty decent strike rate for Test cricket. For Test cricket. But absolutely exceptional innings, a big daddy 100 like we always want from him, 160 runs. And you could see the disappointment when he actually got out. He wanted to make
Yeah.
that double century, and that would have been perfect. But having said that, I think he did his job very very well. Of course, supported by Rahane well as well. But I think Virat, Pujara to an extent, Gill, I think these guys would be a little disappointed that they were not able to get going. Because once you settle down, it felt like this pitch was offering a little bit to kind of score some runs. But like we discussed, it's already starting to turn. There's a lot of rough on the pitch. It's keeping low every now and again. So batting on day five on this pitch will be a hot mess.
Yeah,
So
no, 100%. I don't even think it's going to go to day five, When the toss happened, I thought day
yeah,
three, but like maximum day four. I don't think it's going to
yeah,
go till then. I could be wrong, but it's already a difficult pitch. When Rohit Sharma got out, immediately Rahane got out after that, and you could see, like, even to Ashwin and Rishabh Pant, they were getting beaten on day one. Like,
yeah.
they still batted. Pant is batting on 33, but, to get beaten like three, four times like that, it just shows that it's going to be a very tough pitch. And I think Ashwin is licking his fingers.
Yeah.
He's going to be really excited. I think this is the perfect.
And absolutely, and then a good chance for Kuldeep to show why he
Yeah.
should be picked more often. I think with this kind of a surface, it'll suit him well. The Chinaman, I think, if he can really pitch it on the rough a little bit more often than not, I think if he gets one to really turn, you never know. He might be in business. But I'm looking forward to how the spinners play on this pitch,
This is a
especially.
Jadeja type pitch. He would have
Oh
loved this
man,
pitch. He would have loved
Jadu
this.
would have been getting 6 wickets on this one
Yeah,
for
he would have loved
sure.
this pitch. But again, I think India like will probably need another 60, 70 runs. Ideally, if they can get close to 400, they'll be very happy with that and put pressure on England
Absolutely.
because it's an amazing pitch, but you still need to bowl there. And I think, like you said, Kuldeep is coming out like he's been dropped for so long, so he has that challenge. He'll be nervous. Akshar Patel on debut, he'll be nervous. So really, it's Ashwin has to lead the pack. So it'll be interesting to see how they bowl them. You still have to get it in the right areas. And if you're a bit like with your line and length, if you're slightly in line and length, then I think the likes of Root can punish you on this pitch. But at the same time, yeah, it's gonna get worse and worse. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Coming to the English bowling, I think Surprised, a little bit surprised with Anderson being dropped. I mean, not dropped per se. I think he was being rested, of course. But Ollie Stone coming in, and he was breath of fresh air. I think he was very accurate in the beginning, and that beautiful ball to get Gill out as well was quite classy. And Stuart Broad also, as usual, is best. Jack Leach was I felt a tad bit expensive, but he did pick up the wicket or so. But I think I was very impressed with Moeen Ali. I think important wickets, and especially of Virat, that when
Oh,
it
what a
just
ball.
yeah, perfect. Just went off the rock. Virat was surprised. He was so shocked the ball moved in so much, and he was confused. But it
Do you
happens to the
think they'll
best of
re-sign him in the auction after that delivery? RCB.
us. Oh, you never know.
Bro, he's such a good.
We will.
Moeen Ali is like one of my favorite cricketers. Like he was expensive. 4.5 almost
He
runs
was
per over,
also expensive. Yeah.
but that ball he bowled to Kohli was brilliant. He was unlucky a few times here and there. Jack Leach, I think he bowled pretty well until Rishabh Pant came. Then there's a problem there, man. So I think credit to Rishabh Pant. He doesn't care what stage of the match it is, and like now he had the license more than the last game, so he's gonna attack. And
Yeah.
he's taking Leach out of the attack, bro. Like I think Leach could have got more wickets on this pitch, and he was unlucky that we have to talk about the DRS and umpiring
Oh
decisions.
man.
But apart from that, I think Rishabh Pant like took him out of the attack. To be honest, and Ollie Stone, English pace reserves is unbelievable. Like they have Mark Wood, they have Archer, and now Ollie Stone, and then they have the likes of Anderson and Broad, who these guys just keep
And
bowling and bowling, and Vokes.
very good.
Yeah, so their pace reserve is unbelievable, and credit to them. Like there's a lot of debate about this rotation policy. You're playing such a big series, World Test Championship on the line, but credit to them if they have this kind of squad depth, then why not? Because you have another 2 tests coming up. If Anderson will be fit for the pink ball test, that'll be brilliant. Like he'll be well rested, he'll be fresh for that. And then if Archer can be fit as well, then they'll be back. So the rotation policy is debatable, but if you have reserves like that, I think it helps a lot. I just
Absolutely. I mean,
didn't
these
get
guys are this.
the best dropping Dom Best. They said they dropped him based on form, but he picked up 4 wickets in the first innings. So I wasn't. He had a poor maybe second innings, but still, like I don't know.
I guess they wanted to go with Moeen Ali as well. I mean, it gives you a little bit of the bat as well. But I
I
guess
guess.
Dom Best does that too. I'm surprised with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, these guys, Englishmen always make all these changes that confuse you. But more often than not, they're usually on top of the game. Whoever comes in always steps up. And a couple of
Yeah.
big wickets from Moeen Ali as well. So he's definitely shown why he was picked.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, like you said, I think going into day two, it's very important that India can just attack and if they can get 400 past 400 would be great. But if they can get any close to 400, I think it's an excellent score going into day two, and maybe look to bat through at least till lunch. Get that 100 runs, and then that'll be great if they can do that. If not, who knows? I mean, Rishabh Pant connects a few and he gets confident, goes up. You never know. I mean, it's kind of he has a license to go all guns blazing, so it's great. Um, we'll see how that goes. And for the Englishmen, I think they will have to try to get these guys out as quickly as possible. They need the 4 wickets as quickly as possible. The lesser runs they give, the better it is for
Yeah,
them.
and you want to bat early on day two, like because if they start batting after lunch on day two, the pitch will deteriorate even further. So, like, is that kind of
Yeah, for
pitch?
sure. Absolutely. I mean, 100%. I mean, I can't wait to see the Indian spinners bowl on this pitch. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I think Root will be key for them. I think Root will be key
100%.
for England to negate anything that comes up. I mean, he's shown in the first test as well that he's an absolutely incredible player of spin, and he'll need to be supported. I think if he goes by himself, it's going to be tricky. But I think along with him, I think Stokes, who is like a little bit like an aggressive batsman. Not comparing him to Rishabh Pant or anything, but I think that kind of aggressive nature of the batting, which we want Pant from, which India will want from Pant in when day two starts tomorrow. But similarly, I think Stokes will want to kind of do that as well to keep the ascendancy going for the England team as well. So yeah, it's going to be a fun day two. Any thoughts on what you're expecting from day two?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the Indian spinners. I want to see how they bowl, Ashwin in particular, but even the likes of Akshar Patel and Kuldeep, how they adjust and how they bowl on this pitch, because there is assistance, but then again you have to hit those areas. And like you said, I think England, Joe Root, how he bats and how the likes of Stokes Even Ollie Pope, I think, is a good player of spin. So how these guys play will be very interesting because they have to think that like they're still ahead in the series, so they need to go out with that confidence. If they can be like 150 for 2-3 like that, they will put pressure on India because it will be difficult to get to that position. But if they do, they will put pressure. So they need to think positive and just go out there, score the runs. It'll be a bit difficult to survive. So you need to play your shots like Rohit Sharma showed, and I think that sweep shot, Joe Root plays really well. So that battle with Ashwin will be next level.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And your thoughts on who's going to pick most wickets tomorrow?
Ashwin, man. I mean, if I want to be a bit different, I'll go Akshar Patel.
You stole my boy though. Ash is my boy.
Yeah, because I know you're gonna go Ashwin, so I'll go Akshar Patel. But any of these three, but also keep an eye out on Siraj and Ishant Sharma. Siraj in particular, he's coming back after a very good series in Australia. He's played on these pitches in the domestic trophy, in the domestic Ranji Trophy. So he knows these conditions very well, and I think he'll make good use of that reverse swing. Ishant Sharma, we've seen what he can do. Watch out for them. They'll have shorter spells, but if they can pick up wickets in their short spells, then they will give India a big advantage going into this game. But just a last word on the sorry.
No, I said when the ball starts to get a little bit old, I think both of them just give them a 6 to 8 over spell in tandem. I think it'll really help change it up a little bit as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're 100% right, and that reverse swing will help. Just lastly, your thoughts on the umpiring?
Oh man, I have no words. I don't know what they were doing. It's very confusing. I mean, if you want to put more light on it, I mean, I'm just shocked by the way we always talk about VAR being a big issue, but and we always talk about how VAR should learn from the DRS, but the DRS every now and again brings such a surprise, and you're so confused. I just don't know what happened over there.
They gave them back the review.
Yeah, they gave him back the review.
So then what happened if Rahane didn't get out? Then what happened? They would send him back to the pavilion.
Exactly. They'd send him back to the pavilion. That makes no sense, right? I mean, it didn't cost them that much, luckily. But England would be a little bit more a little bit more upset if it cost them a little bit more. Let's go on and say to score a century or something. They would be with that decision. So
it's basic. It's basic. They didn't finish the procedure. He just checked the first part and the LBW. He didn't check the whole way through. He didn't. How the umpire said, run it through. They didn't run it through, man. So that was a shocking decision. Even the Rohit Sharma, the stumping, I wasn't sure. Yeah.
He had nothing behind the line. The line
didn't look like it.
Empire. So I guess he went with what he liked at the moment. But there has to be a little bit behind that. That's kind of how it works. But
I mean, it didn't cost either team in the end. But umpiring needs to what's the point of DRS? You know what I mean? If the on-field makes that call, okay, fine. But
exactly. It was very surprising. Both decisions I thought should have gone in England's favor, and they didn't. So a little surprising over there.
Yeah.
But luckily, it didn't cost them. A small bit before we just before we close for the day, a small thought on how all these pundits are now talking about how the toss becomes crucial. No one was talking anything when England won the toss and they went on to score all these runs.
Yeah, this happens all the time. It's been happening for so many years. When it happens with India, when they do win the toss and stuff like that, they say, it's a flat wicket, this and that. But that wicket in the first game, if India were batting first, oh my God, the criticism that it would have been next level. But at the same time, I feel that this toss thing, I agree that the toss is an advantage. It is a big advantage, 100%. But at the same time, I feel that in these pitches, it's more of a first innings game. You see what I mean? If you can restrict 100 runs off that first innings and you can hit the extra 50, 100 runs in your first innings batting second, you get the advantage. India did that against England in 2016. I think they did it against South Africa as well. So I think India should have done better in the first test. It wasn't that, they lost the toss and they're helpless. They should have done better and they could have definitely got a draw in that game and even pushed for a win if they bowled better. They leaked a lot of runs in that game, you have to remember. So 100%, I think this pitch as well, toss is big advantage, is going to be so hard to bat in the fourth innings. And but these are the natures of their pitches. And like you said, England also, if they win the toss, they get the same advantage like you saw in the first test. So
Absolutely, I think it's a, and people are starting to think about how India is not a place to play. Like I was reading a few tweets on Twitter saying that there's no skill involved in playing in India. I wish they can come and try and play against someone like an Ashwin or an Akshay Patel or a Jaddu for that matter. That's the kind of level of skill that you actually need. So a lot of talk about suddenly about the toss and everything in the second test. I don't think there was that much talk in the first test, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I mean, it is the nature of how things go when you play such big series or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
well,
think
and
moving forward.
especially on these pitches, you need skill, man. Like with Rohit Sharma's innings, you need skill. Like it's not easy. Like even now, you'll see Joe Root. Like he'll show a lot of skill in this game because it's not going to be easy playing Ashwin and stuff. So I agree with you. Like just that's what it is. People have their opinions.
Everyone has their opinions. Yeah, I think I'm looking forward to day two. I think it's going to be an exciting day of cricket. And we'll see how it goes, and we'll catch you right after.
For sure, man. Enjoy the game.
Take care.